Hi Capricorn, welcome to your mid-month readings. As always, keep in mind that this is just a general reading. Always take what it feels right and with what does resonate within your own life experiences at this time. If you would like a personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. So, Capricorn, this mid-month of August, it seems a little bit troublesome in terms of feelings, in terms of feeling quite haunted or quite sometimes quite overwhelmed with obsession or quite strong, passionate urges. There's something as well about sexual energy that may be out of balance, or it may be suddenly awakened, this sudden need to release something in terms of sexual energy in a quite unbalanced way, I feel, because there's something here surrounding your um, how you are fulfilling your desires, how you are fulfilling your appetites. Also, I feel that during this mid-month, your appetites for many physical things is quite strong. So your ambition, your desire to indulge, to get yourself into places of pleasure. But I feel the way some of you are going about this, the way you are trying to fulfill those appetites, it's in a way that it's not coming from an emotional wisdom, an emotional understanding of what's leading towards that need for self satisfaction in a way that the more you get, the less you feel fulfilled. Because there's something about the emotional maturity at this time that is a little bit out of balance. I feel you could be involved in relationships that have a little bit of a possessive energy to it, or a feeling of not threat, but having to do certain things to please the other. There's energies of lack of self-worth or overcompensation in self-worth through physical things and physical desires. And emotionally, there's some level of it could be some level of emotional manipulation, some level of emotions going over the top in terms of things you're trying to stabilize and concentrate in your life. But I also feel there's something others of you probably are trying to unlock. There's something that seems very guarded, very impossible, very unattainable. Maybe a goal, a relationship, a person, an idea. There's something that you're trying to unlock, trying to break, trying to, again, maybe coming from a place of needing to prove something, your power over something or someone. Just be careful in the ways you are using your authority, or how you are letting others use their authority over you, because I feel it's like a trouble energy with relationships at this time in particular, in terms of who is in control, who is in charge, who obeys, who gets the money, who gets the power. It's this type of archetypes that are not really promoting the challenge here. The King of Cups, the sensitive element, the authority over your emotional world, where you allow the feelings to come to you, you allow the feelings to speak to you, you allow feelings to give you the best they can give without them controlling you, without them overpowering you, overwhelming you, and making you fall into places of despair and lack of self-worth and self-love, and then trying to compensate in approaches that are not um, they are not providing that amount of pleasure that you are looking for. So a pleasure that comes from inside and then outside is needed to feel really fulfilled, which is, I feel, it's your problem overall in this movement, is to feel fulfilled in what you're trying to do or obtain. And I feel that there's a chance that you may need to stop and reflect and look, take an honest look um, at what you have around you and the ways you have been relating or allowing yourself to relate with others, do things to others, and let them do things to you that are so out of alignment to who you are, because you have here a greater chance and opportunity to get towards a level of security and stabilization in your life that is real, an abundance, a prosperity, a golden energy that is really attainable. And I do feel you have a chance in this mid month in particular to feel secure and to feel empowered, to feel that yes, you are the authority in your own life, but without having to impose that on others or attract people that do the same to you. So there's lessons here upon power and authority. I also feel that you may be having trouble resting, sleeping. You may be having nightmares. You may be having a lot of obsessive thoughts. You may have, again, a lot of sexual urges coming to the surface. You may have some as well, some energy of mystery lingering in your life. I also feel that there's some of you that are in this investigative mode, trying to look for answers or look for that piece of knowledge that will help you gain something. I just feel that if you go back to your emotional wisdom, to your sensitive nature, to your compassionate nature, you will easily rescue back your sense of value, self-worth, and really understand where those appetites and those that need to be involved in activities that you indulge at, but at the same that at the same time they have an emotional fulfillment as well to you, not only physically. And you have a chance, if you balance yourself emotionally, to realize how beautiful, how sensual, how magnificent, how prosperous, how abundant you are, regardless of maybe you being on your own, being your own. I feel that some of you are business owners, some of you have your own job, your own work, your own life. And every time you allow a relationship or others to close, you feel that they disrupt that. You feel that you go in this spin of chaos, and everything that you worked hard for um, gets out of control and out of balance. And I also feel that you may be realizing that you feel safer with yourself than with others at this time. But those are issues that you need to work through in terms of emotional security as well. You also may be dealing with two different individuals, two separate persons in your life, especially for those Capricorn females. There may be here some issue surrounding either two individuals, two relationships that you have in your life of significance, and you having to prioritize who you are and what you deserve and your value in it. Because I do feel that there's one relationship that may offer you the world, it may offer you everything you've wished for in terms of the physical element of life, the safety, the appreciation, the commitment, the value, the gold. And there's another relationship that is so chaotic, is so out of balance, so troublesome, it's so manipulative, and even maybe you could even be joining both energies in the same relationship, maybe. But I also feel there's others that are in between these two individuals that in one way one can win you or want to win you through physical pleasures, through enchantment, through the physical life, another through emotional manipulation. So pay attention to your self-worth and self-value at this time to realize what you have in front of you once again. The more you go back to yourself, to your own empowerment, to your own independent nature, and in that independence, quite um, quite you are quite successful in everything you undergo and undertake, especially in terms of business, in terms of money, in terms of career success, achievement, and in pleasure in life. All of that you are at this time growing and evolving at, and you may be forgetting about that the importance of what you've earned so far because of a strong imbalance in relationships, or because you're not properly seeing the damage that certain circumstances could be having to you emotionally in your life at this time. Regardless of that, I do feel that the most trouble aspect for you is coming through relationships and emotional displayed situations. But regardless of that, I feel that others of you are in a quest for gold, are in a quest for abundance, prosperity, empowerment, and conquering your level of what success and achievement means to you and getting the rewards for that. I also feel that there's some of you who should be looking out for information, reading something. There's something about reading or a specific piece of knowledge that would be great to help you in this journey of abundance and career wise. Others are trying to open up a lock. Just make sure you're wanting to open up that lock and that closed circumstance because you truly want to go through it, you truly want to experience that path, or you're doing that out of the thirst, the adrenaline to prove yourself or the other person or circumstances that no matter how closed or guarded they are, you can win them, you can break them. Because you may fall sometimes as well into behaviors of domain, wanting to be on the dominant role over things. Pluto is with your sign. There's strong unconscious urges of your shadow coming to the surface quite easily with this Pluto transit in Capricorn, and so it brings a lot of issues surrounding power, authority, and the way you use your power to really empower yourself from at the soul level or to disempower others. And there's an attention that it's needed in the way you are using that power and those resources that you are handling. And when we don't own that Pluto, we will attract many times relationships that are quite platonic and quite difficult, that puts us in the spin to the underworld to rediscover that power. So pay attention to the way using your power and letting others abuse, maybe having a little bit of abusive behavior towards you. So Capricorn, I hope you have a great mid-month. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, commenting. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And hopefully we'll see each other soon.